Hey guys, I just wanted to make a quick video to show you guys how I do my twisted rib stitch. You're going to start with doing a knit stitch through the back loop. Bring your yarn to the front and do a purl stitch through the back loop. And bring your yarn back, do a knit stitch through the back loop. Bring your yarn to the front and do a purl stitch through the back loop, and you will keep working in this pattern for a 1x1 twisted rib stitch. If you would like to do the 2x2 twisted rib, you will simply knit 2 stitches through the back loops, bring your yarn to the front, and purl 2 stitches through the back loops. A lot of you had reached out to me wondering if I had a good tutorial on how to do twisted rib, because the ones you were finding were not giving you the same look as mine. And honestly, I haven't ever really looked for a twisted rib tutorial. I learned from a wool in the gang pattern I did a long time ago, and I've just always done it that same way. So there may be different variations of it out there. But yeah, the way I do it is just knitting and purling through the back loops. I don't usually use these big needles for twisted rib. Well, actually, I never do. I just wanted to show you guys on them because I figured it might be easier to see. So when you get to the end of the row, a lot of people will do like a slip stitch for the last one, but I just tend to work it in pattern. It doesn't really matter too much, as you're going to be usually seaming it in anyway if you're working one of my patterns. So then when you turn your work around to start your next row, you just want to make sure that you are knitting the knit stitches and purling the purl stitches. Otherwise, you are going to get something that is not twisted ribbing. Someone had actually sent me a picture recently, and they're like, "What have I done wrong? This does not look like twisted rib." And so I was looking at it a little bit closer. I'm like, "Oh, it looks like you were purling the knit stitches and knitting the purl stitches, but through the back loops." So it actually looks kind of cool. I don't know what kind of stitch it is, but I'm like, hey, I might use that in a pattern sometime. Some type of a twisted moss. That's the fun thing about knitting. Like, you honestly can really do whatever you want, make it look however you want, and no one can tell you it's wrong. If it works, let it be. It's good. If you do want to get a little bit of practice with twisted rib, I mean, you can do this. Just cast on and work twisted rib for a while. But my Winter Magic sweater pattern, it's like one of my best sellers, and it is done fully in twisted rib. You'll start out with a smaller needle size, and then the entire body is done on the 25mm needles, these huge ones, but still in twisted rib, a 2x2 twisted rib. So it is really fun to do. And it takes quick, you know, the big yarn, big needle effect. I love it. So yeah, that's about it. This is all you're doing for twisted rib. Simply knitting and purling through the back loops. Enjoy.